What's going on, and welcome to SPN Lineups featuring Billy D and Steve the Hungry Man Fantasy Assassin. Check us out on Twitter at SPN Lineups. You can find our videos on Facebook and Instagram at No Limit Fantasy Sports. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com, where we have our very own tournament, the SPN Lineup Special. It runs every day, it's free to enter, and the winner gets $10 in No Limit coins. Little catch, you have to include a player I'll be naming later in the show on your roster. The high scoring team with that player wins the prize. Congratulations to yesterday's winner, Tim J. Ski, aka Uncle Tim. Congratulations. Leave us a comment and your NLC2 address and we'll ship that prize to you. Steve, I have an interesting fact for you today. March 15th, about 2100 years ago, Julius Caesar was stabbed to death.
Et tu, Brutus.
In saying that, I would like to know, do you like Caesar salad?
I do, actually. It's quite delicious.
What? And do you like croutons, I'm assuming?
I'd say so. I mean, it's a 50-50, but I'll go with croutons this morning.
Okay, and my question to you is, what kind of croutons do you like?
Just the plain ones. I'm not very adventurous with my croutons.
Okay. I like those seasonings and the herbs, you know, just love a little oregano, parmesan action in there. It's good stuff.
Sometimes you gotta spice that Caesar up.
You know what I mean? And then I stab it with my fork.
You know who stabbed somebody last night is the New Jersey Devils stabbed the Vegas Golden Knights. They won 8-3, and scoring was spread out for New Jersey. Everybody except 4 players chipped in a point last night. So it's actually the second time this season that the Golden Knights have given up 8 goals in a game, and you never know when the cracks are going to start to show with that expansion team.
And I believe I called a little upset last night. The Rangers won last night 4-3 in a shootout. Chris Kreider had 4 points. And Mika Zibanejad had 2 goals, including the overtime winner. They still got outshot, though. Not surprised. I did say that was going to happen as well.
You know how many times before the show we practiced Zibanejad? Zibanejad just rolls right off the tongue. But
I said it right, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
It's just fun to say. But not every game was so high scoring. John Gibson and the Anaheim Ducks blanked the Canucks 3-0. And remember when we told you the other day that Canucks have been shut out 7 times this year? I hope you were paying attention. The Ducks defenseman Brandon Montour had 2 goals, and the 23-year-old's quietly putting together a pretty solid season with 28 points now on the year.
Toronto beat Dallas 6-5. It took a shootout to decide this one. James Van Riemsdyk, had a hat trick for the Leafs, and Tyler Seguin had 3 points in the loss for the Stars. Van Riemsdyk does not roll off the tongue at all.
It definitely does not, like Zibanejad. Now, the Sharks, they rolled last night. They beat the Oilers 4-3 on an overtime goal from Thomas Hertl. Logan Couture, he chipped in 3 points for San Jose, and they held McDavid off the board goal-wise, but he still managed 2 assists in the game. So he's now on pace for his second 100-point season in a row at age 21. What were you doing when you were 21?
Drinking.
Me too.
Okay. Tonight we've got 9 games on the slate, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Toronto and Pittsburgh. are on a back-to-back tonight. We got Toronto at Buffalo. They've only played once this year, last week actually, and the Sabres beat the Leafs 5-3. What's going to happen tonight?
Like I said the last time, anytime there's a Toronto at Buffalo game, all the Toronto fans filter down through the QEW. They invade the Buffalo Stadium, and it's almost like a home game for Toronto. So anything can happen. We got Pittsburgh at Montreal, and the Pens lost on the road last night, and they're now 3 games under 500 on the year on the road. So not that tough of a test tonight with the Habs, but it's also not as easy as you'd think.
Tough games to call tonight. We got another one. Washington at the Islanders. The Islanders kind of slipping. They're at home. Washington, you just never know what you're going to get. I'll tell you one thing you're going to get, and that's the over.
Maybe an Ovechkin goal.
Ooh.
Colorado at St. Louis. So this is a tale of 2 very different teams right now. Now, it doesn't sound like it in the beginning because the Blues have won their last 2, but before that they were 1-6-2, and they've only scored once on the power play in their last 8 games. Now the Avs, they've actually gotten points in their last 8 straight games, and they've scored on the power play in 8 straight games. I mean, those things usually go hand in hand. They have had a few overtime losses, though, so they're not really closing out games like they should. But they beat the crap out of Minnesota last time, and they actually had 2 power play goals against Minnesota. So we'll see what happens tonight. I like Colorado for sure.
Yes, I like it. It's sneaky. Another sneaky one. I'm calling it tonight. Here's the upset I actually do believe in. That's Florida at Boston. Boston, great team. Florida, but Florida's playing some good puck lately, and I think they get the win tonight on the road.
I agree. Boston, they came back against Carolina, but they didn't really deserve to win that game other than the last 10 minutes, so I think more of the same tonight. Detroit at the LA Kings. So the Red Wings come into this game losers of the last 7 in a row, and the Kings are battling for one of the last playoff positions in the Western Conference. So don't overthink this one. Kings by a couple.
Last night's slump buster. Jonathan Marchessault managed 4 shots on goal, but didn't get on the board as Vegas lost 8-3 to the Devils. Slump not busted. We keep moving on though with tonight's slump buster. We're going with Phil Kessel. 1 goal in his last 3. Not even 1 goal. Only 1 point in his last 3 games. He should have a pretty good chance tonight, though, as he plays the Canadiens.
And we debut today a very new look value pick section. And we're breaking it up into 2. We got the centers and left wing on the first page. So if you look over on the right side there, you can see the glossary for the emojis used for each player. So it kind of gives you an idea what type of value pick they are, you know, who's hot, who's maybe a little bit more risky, you know.
I love it.
So I'll run you down through. We got Tyson Yost. He's got, I think, 4 points in his last 3 games, something like that. And he's still 3,700 for Colorado. And then my double value pick of the night, Artem Anisimov, 3,400 for Chicago. On left wing, we've got a couple big names here, relatively. Tanner Pearson for the LA Kings. He's been hot in his last 3 games. And Arturi Lehkonen for Montreal, 3,400 bucks. He's had 2 really, really good games in a row. We go on to the next page here. You know I love Wayne Simmons. He hasn't necessarily put a ton of points on the board lately, but he's been pretty consistent, and 4,800 is still a great price tag. You can go with William Nylander. I put that skull and crossbones next to him because it's not without risk. I mean, He's definitely in a slump, but the name value's there, so it's all on how you want to play that. Now, one thing I do think should be a lock tonight is Eric Gustafson. He has just been on fire lately for Chicago from the defense. Just power play quarterback, getting shots from the point. He's doing everything. So 3,400 is an absolute steal. Gives you tons of ability to put as many Yevgenis as you want in your lineup.
Yevgeny.
And over in goalie, we've got a good value pick tonight too. Christopher Gibson. He's basically taken over the starting nod from Jaro Halak after Halak just really hasn't cut it this year. And he's kind of providing some new life for the Isles, who really looked like they were about to drop off the map. And he's put together about 3 or 4 really solid games. And if I remember correctly, he had to make a boatload of saves in his last game. So those are points. Get him in your lineup.
Very nice. Finally, we get to the SPN Special Player of the Day. Make sure to get him in your lineup in that SPN Lineup Special Tournament for your chance to win $10 in No Limit Coin. Tonight, we're going with the Breadman, Artemi Panarin, 6,700, left wing for the Coyotes, for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yes, just the Breadman. Panini, yes. Very, very solid pick tonight. Make sure to get him in your lineup. Make sure to check us out on Twitter for the updates, news, and injuries. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment with your take on croutons. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com and all the links below. Good luck.
And tell me the value picks were good today, because I have a fragile ego.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one, everybody.